Nvidia stock had an amazing 2024, but one of the big fears for 2025 that Wall Street has is that big tech players are going to develop their own AI chips and reduce their dependency on Nvidia. And this is why in the past few months we have seen companies like MRVL and Broadcom up on a 6-month basis because these are the semiconductor companies that help these big tech players develop their own AI chips. Now, what if I told you this weakness that Wall Street has for Nvidia, in my opinion, is a big opportunity that no one sees coming? I'm going to explain a little bit more in today's episode, but if you're an Nvidia shareholder, a Marvell shareholder, or even a Broadcom shareholder, you're going to want to take notes. But before we get started, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, as this is going to be the best place you're going to find any semiconductor news in general. Also, check out the pinned comment for special offer at fool.com/Jose, and check out my free daily semiconductor newsletter, whatthechip.happened.com. Link is down below. Now, let's get started.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so like I mentioned in the intro of the video, one of the biggest fears that Wall Street has for Nvidia is big tech players developing their own AI chips, right? And we're hearing this, that all these big companies are doing it. Google has their TPUs. Amazon recently announced that they were going to build a massive data center and AI chip cluster with their Trainium 2. Microsoft is building their own AI chips. Even Meta has their own AI chips. And the companies that are helping them do this is Marvell Technologies and Broadcom. I mean, in most recent Broadcom earnings, we did hear that 3 largest custom AI chip customers for Broadcom had an addressable market between $60 billion to $90 billion in fiscal 2027 alone. Those are 3 big players. I want to say one of those players is at least Google, which has done really well at designing their own AI chips. Now, outside of the market feeling that this is a threat for Nvidia, I've done plenty of videos of explaining why ASIC solutions, or these custom AI accelerators, are not a threat to Nvidia GPUs. In my opinion, there are 2 markets independently. There's the AI GPU market, and then there's the AI ASIC market. The AI GPU market is going to be much larger than the AI custom or AI ASIC market, but because of this huge growth in AI innovation, both are going to grow. Again, at the end of the day, the biggest market out of the 2 is going to be the AI GPU space. And I'm going to put some images here of some different companies kind of showcasing the same thing. But this, in my opinion, has always been the case that, hey, look, Nvidia is going to lose out in this market and is going to lose out wallet share. Now, Nvidia, nothing is really stopping Nvidia from actually creating an ASIC solution unit for their big players, right? I think right now, Nvidia is just saying that, hey, look, probably the best margins we can get, the best innovation we can do at the end of the day, and where we should focus at least in this initial phase of this kind of AI market is in these GPUs that we make. But starting since February of 2024, we've had heard rumors that Nvidia is likely going to expand into the ASIC service. Very similar, kind of competing against companies like Marvell and Broadcom. Now, today I actually had an idea for another video, but then I did see this report from, or this post from Dan, and Dan, he usually kind of shares a lot of information from news sources outside of the United States, focused in the semiconductor market. And this comes from ChinaTimes.com. Nvidia plans to develop custom ASIC chip at a proposed Taiwan R&D center and has local chip designers worried their top engineers may be lured into working for the AI giant. Media report noting that big players are getting ready to do this in 2025. So this is actually another topic that I've talked about in the past, where one of Nvidia's moat right now, outside of just being a big player, is that because they're evolving at such rapid pace, if they ever enter into a market, they will have that kind of luring capabilities that, hey, look, now that Nvidia is reportedly entering in the ASIC market, any ASIC engineers out there are going to say, hey, look, yes, I really enjoy what I do, but maybe I would enjoy doing it more at NVIDIA, as I know that's going to be one of the best places to work at. Because overall, the work talent and just the rate of innovation in that company, the resources that company gives to its engineers is insane. So NVIDIA, if they are entering into this market, is going to attract a lot of talent. Now, if NVIDIA is entering in this market, I do believe it could create bearish sentiments for companies like Marvell and for companies like Broadcom. I also did share some of my thoughts here. So I do believe eventually, NVIDIA will enter into the ASIC market. The question for me is more about when they will do it. I don't know if it's going to happen in the next few months, but eventually in this AI race, they are going to enter it. And I remember ASIC solutions do not replace AI GPUs. NVIDIA also could be very smart with this, as they can offer ASIC solutions to players who are already big customers for AI GPUs. Remember that ASIC solutions are only going to be used by big players that have big wallets. Individual companies don't really enter into this market, right? Your enterprise aren't going to develop their own AI chips because it's just not reasonable for them to hire a semiconductor team, to hire a validation team, to kind of continue to innovate this on a yearly basis, right? These are only for selected customers that have big wallets. Some of the customers that are doing this, we can see, are Microsoft, Meta Platforms, Google, pretty much the big tech, Amazon, even kind of Tesla designs their own AI chips as well. Other companies that I can also see doing this in the future are OpenAI, xAI, maybe Anthropic, any of these big AI companies that are emerging to being multi-billion-dollar companies. So it's only those are the companies that are going to be capable of doing some of these services. And NVIDIA could be like, hey, look, we can open up that custom solution for you if you continue to purchase our traditional AI GPUs. The other thing that I mentioned is NVIDIA has this massive software stack. So when you create an ASIC solution with that company, let's say you're creating or designing a custom chip with NVIDIA, usually NVIDIA can license you a lot of outside of their hardware IP, their software IP, and other things that NVIDIA has created. And out of Broadcom, Marvell, and NVIDIA already has such a huge stack of software solutions in the AI space. They have such a huge amount of assets in the AI market that if I was developing my own AI chip, even though maybe I might pay a little bit more on NVIDIA than Broadcom or Marvell, I do know that I'm going to get even more than just an AI chip in general, right? So I believe if they enter this market, it's definitely a big opportunity for them, and unfortunately could create that tension for those ASIC players like Marvell and Broadcom. Another company that can also enter this space, I've talked about it in the past, is AMD. I believe AMD is also another player that can enter into the ASIC market. I think right now, though, it's not something we're going to hear maybe within this quarter, but maybe by the end of 2025, we will have more evidence that NVIDIA and AMD are going to be entering in this space. So let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts? Do you think this would be a bullish move for NVIDIA stock shareholders if true? Again, this is not the first time we're hearing it, and we keep hearing it. And usually when there's some smoke, there's actually fire somewhere. Take care, have a good day, and see you all next time.